Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Talk About It with Sam, where we discuss today's current events, life, health, wealth, and lifestyle. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more content. We have so much more to come. Good morning, listeners. Welcome to the next episode of Talk About It with Sam. Today, I'm going to be interviewing DNA, who is a music producer based out of Boston, Mass, along with his artist, Cube. We're going to dive into some mental health along with some physical aspects and really talk about how we can kind of collaborate together to kind of get the word out that, therapy is a really good thing and that we should really be focusing on fitness and trying to balance our lives and working in toxic environments. DNA. So you, my friend, you work out of Boston, Mass, and you work with a lot of artists, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Love that so much. And then Cube, you are an artist, correct?
Correct.
That's great. DNA, do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I go by DNA Music. I'm a music producer. Born and raised in Boston, Mass. I making started making beats about around 2004, 2005. My brother had a group called Acuta Records, and he used to always they used to do shows and do music and all that other stuff, and they used to make music in my basement. And I started learning how to do production down there in my basement when I watching this guy named Session that was a part of their group. He was also a producer. So then I just started following doing what he was doing. That got me into being a producer, making beats and all that other stuff. And then fast forward the last 6 years, I decided to take the music serious. So I just been working with DNA in the lab ciphers. We did like 19 episodes so far. Over 100 artists came to our platform where we showcase artists how to, they come, they spit their bars. I create the beats. It's all the platform. You can find it on DNA Music 57 on YouTube. I produce 2 albums. I did a compilation album with numerous artists, and that's basically who I am, man. I just try to work with a bunch of artists and be a producer out here.
Wow, that's amazing. I like that a lot. And I like that it kind of like started at home and you kept it going in your own city.
Yes, exactly.
Do you ever find that working in the music industry and working with all these artists can be kind of a toxic environment?
It could be toxic in a certain way if you let it consume you. You know what I mean? If you like, I feel like a lot of artists put the music first before everything else in their life. And if you decide to do it like that, with this music stuff is tough. So it's never gonna go your way exactly how you want it. So then a lot of artists, what they do is they put the music first, and then when it's not going exactly the way they want it, they become stressed and let it become depression or whatever it is, yo. You know what I mean? So like I realized when it comes to this music stuff, like I remember when I started, I remember a producer named Mo was telling me like, "Yo, you got to balance it because this shit will stress you the hell out, yo." You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I remember starting from the beginning time when I started 6 years ago to like 4 years in. I remember I had my bed and I only had like a couple grays in my bed. And then I noticed dealing with the music shit, and all of a sudden I have plenty of grays in my hair. But people thinking it's because of the kids. I'm like, nah, it ain't because of the kids. It's because of this music shit. Like dealing with artists and just trying to do so much shit and trying to figure it out. It becomes stressful at times, but you have to learn how to take a break from it and recollect yourself and then come back to it. So it could get toxic if you let it get toxic to you. If you put it first before everything else, your family, your job, and all that, it's definitely gonna be, it's gonna be toxic if it's not going your way.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It sounds like so. But it sounds to me like you found like a really good balance. How did you do that?
Me, I just always been like that. I've been a hustler my whole life, so I just always been grinding. So I just always know how to manage, how to do everything all at once, yo. You know what I mean? Like Like it's just scheduling. Like Cube would tell you too. Like 24 hours ain't enough for us, but in that 24 hours, our time is like bang, bang, bang. So whenever I have free time, it's taking care of this. It's not hanging around, chilling with boys, going to the club. It's not doing none of that. If I got free time, I'm taking care of this music stuff. You know what I mean? So like I'll work throughout the week, take care of my family throughout the week. In the process of doing that, if I have downtime at home, I'll be editing some music. I'll be producing some music. I'll be doing anything with music on my downtime. And then when the weekends come, when I'm free, I'm just basically taking care of music stuff on top of everything else, yo. You know what I mean? So it's just finding that right balance of how to fit everything in between, yo.
And then also you work out too, right?
Yeah,
So it's really incorporating like your work life, your home life, your kids, the music, working out, and then you also go to therapy.
yeah.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so like working out wise, I just always say an hour out of your day ain't gonna kill you. You know what I mean? So like I put working out as part as my 9 to 5. So if I get off work, my work ain't done until after I get out the gym and then everything's free. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta be, you know, your health is everything. You know what I mean? Without your health, you're gonna be gone fast or you're gonna deal with a bunch of shit. So I always work out. Like me, I played football. I played football half of my life. I played semi-pro. I became Hall of Fame and semi-pro like last year. You know what I mean? I won 2 Super Bowls. I did NFL tryouts. So working out was always a part of my life, yo. You know what I mean? So I just always keep that. I just have to. Like, you know, like for instance, now like I work overnights. The way I do it now is it's like, all right, so I work 2 jobs, right? I work overnights, then I work so I'm 7 to whatever the time I get off, and then you know, deal with kids. So I realize it's gonna be hard trying to implement working out in between how my schedule is. So now what I realized was I seen there was a 24-hour gym near where my job is on my lunch break overnight. Instead of me just chilling and on my lunch break, I go to the gym and go work out, yo. You know what I mean? So at least I get that out the way. I got my workout out the way throughout the day and I could take care of everything else. So it's just like fitting it in the way you could fit it in.
That's beautiful. That's ambition. That's good.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yo. And then with the therapy, I just started doing that like I want to say like a month or 2 months ago. You know what I mean? It's one day out of a week. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? For 1 hour, you could find one day out of a week or 1 hour to, you know, take care of whatever you gotta take care of when it comes as far as therapy. And I think it's going good, yo. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, a lot of your friends are like, you know, I usually used to go to my friends as my therapist, especially this guy over here, Q, be like, I talk to him about everything, but there's only so much your friends could do or tell you, you know what I mean? When you talking to someone random that doesn't really know you like that and you could talk to and they could give you pointers and you could try it out, you know what I mean? Like and
Yeah.
you release a lot of stress, yo, you know what I mean? When you could talk to someone that you don't know about just, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to it, so I'm just still experiencing it and trying to see how it feels, yo.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, it's beautiful that you're at the very least trying it. What I
Yeah,
would like to do at some point in time is to follow up with you a little bit because part of what I'm trying to get across is that when you become healed and you work on yourself and a physical aspect, as in like going to the gym, you work on fitness, you work on your mental, you go into therapy, you're able to accomplish a whole lot more because you're a healed man now or you're
yeah,
a healed woman. So now you feel good, you're working out, you're confident, you're going to therapy and you're working on traumas or whatever it is that you've been through. Everybody goes through stuff.
yeah,
And now you're able to focus on your music and focus on the things that are important in your life. And it's huge. So on my podcast, I have interviewed a lot of men, especially in the Black community, and nobody really believes in therapy. So we're trying to push that a little bit more because there's a lot of young kids out there that would benefit from it. And they would be able to get to places like you guys are at right now faster if they would kind of work on themselves and know that they could go somewhere and express themselves. And like you said, it's not always best to constantly coordinate with your friends all the time because your friends don't always know best. And sometimes working with a professional could be, really beneficial.
yeah. The one
So
thing
Q,
I
my
think,
friend, it's so nice to meet you.
oh,
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. You want to
Thank
tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, sure, definitely. Just the artist. I was born in Cuba. Um, I've been in the States since I was a kid. About 9 years old, raised in the city of Boston. So this is the city, it's all I know. um, Artist as well. Been an artist for a long time now, for about 20 years. DNA mentioned his brother. I was a part of that movement with his brother. Um, you know, and took some time off, and then DNA and I mean, we all family, we all can't grew up together, so it was easy for him to partner. It was you know, everybody's family. So me and this guy have been partnering up for the past, been what, a good 7 years or something.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. Just I'm not, I don't make beats or anything, but just independent artist. I've been an independent artist my entire time making music. So you're forced, when you're independent artist, you're forced to do everything yourself. You are your own management. You are your own promoter. You are, you know, basic, do everything. You know what I mean? You're your own finance, your own banking. Everything is just on you as as an independent artist, and that's just basically what I've been the whole time. And you know, then same thing. His partnered up with DNA to start the cipher, and we've been doing a cipher, going on cipher 20 next year. So yeah, man, we here putting out music. I put out this music, see what happens.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
And would you agree with a lot of what DNA said as far as like balance and all of these things, trying to balance your family life and fitness and the music industry and trying to stay healthy at the same time?
Yeah, especially us that we're a little older now. The older you get with anything, especially with this music, again, being indie artists, we don't have a lot of help. You know what I mean? And then, you know, the hip hop culture, the hip hop genre is one that sadly tries to almost age you out as you get older. You know what I mean? As if you still don't have a lot to say. Uh, so definitely, as you get older, you start a family. You know, the music doesn't, until the music makes money. You gotta work, you gotta hustle. You know, just to support yourself, your family, and the music. So you know what I mean. That alone, the pressure alone, it's you know, it could be stressful. It could be defeating at times, very challenging. You know what I mean. So you gotta just definitely, it's all balanced, you know what I mean? But like anything else in life, you know what I mean? We chose to be artists. It's one of the toughest things to do. The music industry, especially as oversaturated as it is, and things are constantly changing with technology and social media, and now you got AI and all this stuff. You know, it's just like you gotta try to keep up with all this stuff, but then at the same time, for example, like, you know, our children are all around the same age, and they get, you know, they're talking more every day, they're developing more, there's things they want to do. So now you got to make a choice. Am I still trying to be this person, or be this type of artist, and put more time into this? But this, my son wants to learn karate. That's a job itself. Taking him every Monday, he wants to play basketball. We do karate, then there's swimming, then there's a basketball clinic, and now there's, you know, all these things. I know DNA's daughters want to do ballet. Like, I, this, you got, so the schedule is crazy. So, you know, when I didn't, you know, so it's like my advice to a lot of the younger artists: take advantage now, go hard now, do, you know what I'm saying? Travel as much as you can. When you start having a family, you know, and then we have careers as well. Like, we're not going, you know, we're not, you don't have like jobs, little jobs here and there. Like, I've been at my job for 15 years, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all that, balancing all of that, it's a lot. But when you know what you want and you know what you got to do, and you have a plan, and you kind of learn how to start executing, and then you start learning how to separate things. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
at work and I know I got to focus on my job, because you know, I work for the railroad, and if I don't do
Right.
my job correctly, lives depend on it. You know what I mean? I can't be worrying about what's, you know what I'm saying? When I'm making my music and I need to zone out, I'm not thinking about work. When I'm focused on my kid, you know, I'm spending time with my kids and my family, I can't think about music. So it's just a balance, and learning how to separate things, and you know what I mean, and just manage what you want to do, and be realistic with yourself at times. It's not as
Yeah.
easy. It's not as easy for me to work out like I used to. You know, I've gotten into boxing in the last probably like 6 7 years, and you know, I want to spar more and train more, but it's been a lot, it's been difficult. I haven't gotten to the level, you know, and I obviously I started older, so then there's no thoughts of like going pro, or even like gold, you know, golden gloves and nothing like that, but just to just stay with it and stay consistent because I actually love doing it. It's been very difficult in my schedule with the music, children, and work. So, but you know, you try to find the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you're doing a really good job. I love that a lot. And I think that a lot of young men are going to be inspired to hear everything that you guys have to say and understand that, if they can just keep trying, that, the light is at the end of the tunnel, and that everybody has to work. Everyone has to balance these things out. Because I find when I find myself talking to the younger generations of kids, they think that everything just happens overnight without realizing that no, it takes us years to learn these things. We have to learn tactics on how to balance. We need to learn all these different strategies on how to cope, and just, really try to find the time to incorporate all these things. Would you say that fitness, when you are able to work out, is a part of almost like a mental therapy for you?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. The toughest time, I feel like the hardest thing, anything that has to do with work, right? Just showing up to work itself, your job. Nobody really likes to work, right? And even some people love their job, but realistically, we all wish we could hit the lotto. But just even with my job, showing up is the hardest thing. Once I'm there, you know what you got to do. Get into the gym. Getting there is the hardest thing. Once you're in there, and you're able to work out. Same, with the music. So a lot of music stuff is tedious because again, we do everything ourselves, and it's like, damn, I gotta get this video done. There's so much on my plate. But once you get the ball rolling and you get it done, and the finished product is always, you go to the gym after you do 3 days a week for 3 months, you're gonna see results. People
Yeah,
are gonna, people's gonna start noticing. So the goal is the result.
mm-hmm.
I think if that doesn't motivate you, then you know what I'm saying? Like it's always the result. So yeah, definitely getting into the gym, any type of workout and stuff like that, especially like I said, as we get older. My metabolism is not what it used to be. My knees are I can still, the thing is, I'm still young enough to be athletic. I can still hoop, I can still, but the difference now is the maintenance of my body. When I was younger, I could go the entire winter hibernating, stuff in my face, and then once spring comes out, I'm balling, nothing happens. Get a little winded, play through that, I'm good. Now I try to do that, I'm cramping, my knees swelling the next day. So it's just more of like I had to learn, like, well, I have to stay consistent with the way I take care of my body, with the way I build my body with working out. I can't just I stop and then just go running. No, I have to, conditioning is more important than ever now as you get older. So there's all these things. And, you feel good physically, you feel good mentally, you know what I mean? That's just the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that so much. And it's true. The younger that you start with consistency and that you teach yourself these lessons, then the more consistent you'll be and the longer it'll stay with you. So that's really dope. I like that a lot.
That's a fact, yeah.
So to any artists or anyone young, kind of hearing this and hearing what you guys have to say, what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Oh, definitely. When DNA comes back, but for me is Q Breath. That's my artist name, Q Breath, CUBE space REF. And honestly, that's my name on everything. I've been fortunate enough to be the only person online with that name. I looked it up. So it's easy, Q Breath. You can find me on Instagram.
I'm busy enough,
Q Breath at Gmail, Facebook, all my social media is just Q Breath. And I have a website as well, qbreath.com. So that's it. That's how you reach me.
Beautiful. And then how about you, DNA? For any young artists or anybody listening that might want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Oh, the podcast is over?
Yeah, you've been gone for a minute.
Since you were talking, I had to go take care of my kids real quick.
Is there anything else that you want to discuss or any messages you want to get out?
Since you talking about mental health, let me tell you, in our community, dudes don't like talking about it. They don't like saying they don't want to go sign up for therapy because they think it's lame. They think it's lame or any of that. It's not. I feel like a lot of us as leaders, I feel like I'm a leader. Like I've always been a leader my whole life. And I noticed I'm open with my friends. I tell all my boys I'm doing therapy. They all know, like, I don't have to hide it, none of that. And I noticed the more I talk about it to other people, other people start to be like, you know what? Maybe I might need to do that. If B's doing it, maybe I should do it. And maybe it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And I notice more people are more welcome to looking into it, yo. So it's like, it's not a bad thing if you're listening. It's not a bad thing for us black men. We deal with a lot of shit, yo. You know what I mean? From the workplace, from at home, from outside. When you step outside, you don't know what you could get into that day from your own peoples. You know what I mean? Like, we just deal with a bunch of shit, yo. And sometimes, yo, it helps to just get a bunch of shit off your chest and just check it out. It doesn't hurt to try it, yo. You know what I mean? If you have trauma in your life, talk to somebody, you know, check it out, yo. You know what I mean? It might help you relieve some of that trauma that you had. You might be a whole totally different person once you release whatever you've been holding in your head that you're scared to talk to your friends about or to your close ones about. So, like, stop. Like, don't be scared to do it. Like, no, I'm a 320-pound big ass dude. I done dealt with so many people in Boston, dog. Like, I fuck with so many people, and I'm letting everybody know, like, I do this shit, yo. Like, we all need it somehow, and I found that I benefit from it. It helps me out. You could be dealing with stress. You don't even know you're dealing with stress. You know, one thing I realized, I was like, yo, I'm so used to dealing with so much shit, it doesn't seem stressful to me. But then I realized, like, when I talked to my doctor, they was like, you sure you don't deal with stress? And I'm like, I don't think I do, but you could be dealing with stress. You don't even fucking know it, yo. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Give it a try.
Can I can I chime in on that just to kind of back you up on it? You know, for, just in our community growing up, you know what I mean? It was always like, you know, it was, we made fun of it. We made fun of like therapy and always made it seem as like if you're doing therapy, like there's something wrong with you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, there's something wrong with you mentally, or you're like slow, or you know what I mean? You have some sort of like the deficit or something like that, or you're somewhat challenged. And I think, you know, that was just kind of like the narrative and like the notion we had, and we make fun of each other, but then also almost like shaming ourselves, each other, into like just thinking um there's something wrong with therapy. And I myself am guilty with it. And then I had to learn. And really, man, it's just all of this is just a neutral party hearing you out. Someone who doesn't know you personally on a personal level is a judge-free zone, and it's just somebody just listening to you talk and just let everything out. And I think, you know, it's a good thing to be able to have somebody like that. That's no bias. It's no, you know, you might tell a friend, you might tell people might feel away because they know you already. So there's always that preconceived or that prejudgment that they have because they know you. This is you know, it's usually a person who doesn't know you personally, and that's a neutral party, and you know, and it's somebody you're able to just speak to freely, and it's, you know, and what is it, confidential, whatever you say stays there.
Yeah. What, yo, let me chime in on that. And also to the people who think like, all right, because you know, you got a lot of us who have, you got a lot of people who have trauma and scared to talk to their friends about it because, you know, sometimes people are conniving. You could have a fallout with a friend and now they're using what personal shit that you told them about you against you, yo. You know what I mean? They take it as a way of, all right, this is the reason why you're like that because you ain't blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about none of that shit, yo. You know what I mean? Like, you could be real open and not have to worry about somebody trying to like use whatever you was open to against you, yo. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, I don't think it's that, I don't think it's bad at all, yo. I think we all should do it. Like, there's a lot of brothers that I know that should go seek to see if it helps, yo. You know what I mean? Because we hold a lot of anger inside, you know what I mean? And we hold a lot of shit. And sometimes you can't talk to your woman about it. Your woman might use it against you. You can't talk to your boy about it because you fall out with your boy, they might use it against you. But you could see a therapist and they sit there and they'll talk to you and they'll be cool with you. And they, you know, like I said, they won't, it won't never be none of that.
Wow, I'm so proud, to be honest. I feel like so blessed to have you both on here and to really just talk about this and to get kind of deep, to be honest, because you guys didn't have to be as vulnerable as you were. And I think that a lot of young men need to hear that. They need it. And especially right now, we're living in a time of violence, like, with COVID and all the isolation and everything that these kids went through. It's so important for everyone to know that it is okay, especially in the Black community. It is okay, and it does need to grow. I think that one of like the biggest stigmas that I've heard, especially kind of like on my podcast, if you've listened to any of the interviews that I've had with the men, was that they was raised in a way like you were kind of saying, like, if you go to therapy, you're a girl, you're a wimp, you're this, you're that, you're shamed out of it. You're shamed out of talking about your emotions. You're shamed out of talking about your feelings. And you're almost shamed to feel like you're not a man if you have any kind of like discrepancy in your life, or if you're not able to handle things in a super strong way. I have a son. And I tell my son all the time, like, I'm not saying that you should walk around crying all the time, but if you're sad and you have that emotion, go home and cry. If that's what you need to do, you need to release that. Because if not, what are you going to do? You're going to hold on to it and you're going to end up being super angry. You're going to carry it with you for the rest of your life. And you can't be a functioning adult doing that. You need to be able to heal those traumas, and you need to be able to work through those things in order to be a successful functioning adult. And it's beautiful that, you both are partaking in this, and that you guys are willing to talk about it and kind of spread that word, because it's super important. And I think a lot of people are inspired by men like you, and they're going to hear this and they're going to think, you know what, maybe I will give it a try, and they'll be willing to talk to somebody.
Hell yeah. That's
for the record, I haven't done it yet, but but I understand it very well. I have family that's in that field and things like that. I know plenty of people in that field. So it's like, and then I've just learned to be more open-minded about it, and then we're just growing and understanding like how the world works and things like that. So yeah, man, if you need it, go for it.
Yeah, and I think, DNA, you hit a lot of points when you were saying that. Like, even regardless if you have trauma or not, just being able to go somewhere and talk to somebody is so important. Like, if you're facing traumas, absolutely you should go. But even if you're just going just to go, so that you're not talking to the people that are directly related to your community. Because like you said, a lot of people also get shamed for stuff like that. Like, you confide something in someone, and then you have a fallout with them, and the next thing you know, it's getting thrown in your face, and now you're never going to talk about it again. So it's like, don't even bother doing that. Just reach out to a professional, somebody that doesn't know you, have a confidential conversation with that person, and then move on from it. And then the next time somebody comes to you and they're trying to spew on you, you can give them that advice and say, like, listen, I'll listen to you if you want me to, but this is the best way to go about it. And now you have a resource.
Yeah, and it's a judge-free zone, yo. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you could talk to people about some stuff and now they judging you. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's good for people. We all humans. We deal with shit. If you're a human being on this earth, you're dealing with some type of shit. Your life ain't fucking perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person. You see celebrities right now going through shit, yo, like in their life, and a lot of us wish we could be them celebrities and be rich and famous, but then you don't realize they deal with their own fucking trauma too. Like, everybody deals with some shit. That's what comes with life, yo. It depends how you deal with it, yo. And some people let it get the best of them. Depression is fucking real, yo. You can see a motherfucker who smiled I can swear on this.
Yeah, yeah, you've been swearing.
You can see a person smile every day, and next you know, the next week they took their life. You know what I mean? Like it's real out here. So it's like I wouldn't knock it, yo. You know what I mean? I wouldn't knock it. But besides that, if you're an artist and you want to release some frustration on some bars, come to DNA in a Lab Cypher. We always welcome artists to come showcase their stuff. I know there's a lot of platforms that don't allow, a lot of platforms be like, they're so picky on who they want to have on it, and it has to be a name person, and it's that. And I feel like, yo, when you do shit like that, you skip over. Remember how Tom Brady made it to the page on Patriots, how he was a person on the bench, and next you know, they used him, and he's the top motherfucking quarterback that's out there. There's always an artist out there that you might skip over because he doesn't have a name. Come to this cipher and you can release your frustration and release your bars and get noticed, yo. DNA in a Lab Cypher. You can contact QBreath at Gmail, or you can contact me at DNA Music 57 at Gmail, or you can go to our social media Facebook, you contact me at DEE space N space Notorious and contact me, message me if you want to get upon it, yo. You know what I mean? Or you can hit up Q Breath.
You gotta come prepared though.
You gotta come prepared though. You gotta come. Yo,
I
whatever
got
you feel it. You know what? You know what? Forget all that. Whatever therapy, if you don't want to go to therapy, you can let this be your therapy and release it on some bars. You come prepared with your bars ready to release your frustration. 32 bars. You're always welcome. You contact me. I guarantee I'll get you on the show. You'll make it happen.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much for taking this time to kind of work with me. I'm really excited, and I hope that you guys gain some artists from this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's
Thank you. Likewise. Appreciate it.
likewise.
Awesome. Have a great night.
Good night.
That if we don't let police do it.